What's up, YouTube? Now, Kanye has started many trends over his entire course of his career. And of course, I'm sure a lot of you are well aware of what those are. And some of you might even wear some of those, various things that he could arguably be credited for starting. But there are a few things, actually there's a bit more than a few things, that certain people won't even admit that they ever wore. Now, a lot of those are kind of Kanye's early trends that I've noticed completely disappeared off people's radar. Now, that's mainly because it got played out or whatever. So I'm gonna do a top 5 list of Kanye West trends that did not last. So we'll start off with number 5. Now, at number 5, we have the coin pouch, mainly the Louis Vuitton coin pouch. And I actually can say that he was credited with this because I think he wore it in 2006 or some shit. I don't know. I tried to Google it to kind of pinpoint when it started. So yeah, that was around, the graduation era of Kanye. And I'll never forget, everybody was wearing them. They weren't the Louis Vuitton ones, or they were the fake Louis Vuitton ones, because a lot of kids in middle school, when I was in middle school in 2006, couldn't really afford that. So they had fake ones, or they had those Diamond Supply Co. ones and shit. But I never really, what I didn't understand was, what the hell did you keep in there? I mean, you could only fit maybe a couple dollar bills. I remember I had this denim one that came with a pair of jeans or something, but you couldn't really fit much. I mean, you could fit an ID and a couple dollars, so maybe that's why that hasn't really continued anymore. I know there were a lot of other people who definitely did that, like Rick Ross, Kid Cudi, Big Sean for sure, man, because a lot of Big Sean's early stuff was obviously influenced by Kanye. And yet that's one thing that definitely I don't see anymore, and maybe it's for good reason, I'm not sure. So we'll just go on right to number 4. And for number 4, we have the Foxtail Keychain clip, or whatever the hell it was, thing. And the reason I think that didn't last is mainly because, it is a tail coming out of your ass pocket or your little belt loop. So I can perfectly understand why a grown adult wouldn't really want to wear that. And I do originally believe that specific one was supposed to be for his brand Pastel that never came out. And why I think this one didn't really take off, but kind of lasted maybe a little bit, at least amongst middle schooler and high school kids, was because it got a hit with that little stigma that the swag fags wore. And I don't know if you remember, but if you were in high school around 08, 09 and shit, everybody kind of was dressing like the new boys. So they were dressing like the new boys with the zebra skinny jeans, and they had that thing hanging off, and they also had a rat tail and shit. And every single party, I didn't even go to parties really, but I went to a few. And the few that I went to, they all the dudes wore the exact same shit, and then that tail was one of the things. And yeah, I never was really a big fan of the whole keychain tail thing, so I'm kind of glad that that doesn't really exist anymore. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna go on to number 3. And at number 3, we have the Middle Eastern scarf. Now, I'm not going to get into how to pronounce the first name because I have no idea. So if anybody wants to tell me how to pronounce that, feel free to comment below. But I remember every single mall kiosk in 2007 or 2008 or whenever it was had every single color of that scarf. And I'm pretty sure I remember seeing male and female alike were all wearing it. Why? Beats me, but I'm gonna have that at number 3. And at number 2, we have the now infamous leather jogging pants. Now, personally, I've noticed a decline in people wearing them, and my number 1 reason for probably noticing that, or why it's happening, is because once a major retail chain kind of latches on to what they see as popular at the moment, they mass produce it and it goes to every retail chain, and then it becomes oversaturated, and instead of being the cool thing, it kind of becomes a gimmicky marketing thing to a lot of people. And they don't really I know at least a lot of the people I know don't really like when an item becomes cheapened like that. I keep putting air quotes up because, I mean, if you really do like it, then of course don't stop wearing it. For me personally, I never liked leather jogging sweatpants, whatever the hell you want to call them. I'll wear like a wax pair of denim, but I never really fell into the actual leather joggers or sweats or whatever you want to call them. So yeah, that's definitely going to be at number 2. And at number 1, I'm pretty sure all of you could have guessed it, the number 1 Kanye West trend that did not last at all, the shutter shades. Now, these were obviously made popular by the Stronger music video back in like the mid to early 2000s, and they were everywhere. I mean, they were genuinely everywhere. Like I said, like same with the scarves, they were in mall kiosks. They were in this store called Planet Funk in Metro Park. I don't know if those stores still exist anymore, but those were kind of like the little hipster stores like before or during the same time as Urban Outfitters. And yeah, those were like, man, they were ridiculous because I think I did, I'm not gonna lie to you because I think I was in like 7th or 8th grade when those came out, and I think I did have a pair, but I don't think they were like, I don't know if there was a legit brand for that because they were even at gas stations, like they sold them everywhere. And I've seen some people who actually went to the beach with them come out with the most gnarly, disgusting tan lines that would go like and that was pretty crazy. I mean, if Kanye got people to wear shades that were essentially useless, I mean, sunglasses are supposed to do one thing, and those don't do that one thing it's supposed to do, which is protect your eyes, then I think that's pretty hilarious. But for that, it has to be number 1 because you don't see them anywhere. They just disappeared now. Before it was like kind of a gag gift as well, and now they have just kind of vanished, and people kind of forgot about them. So that's definitely going to be the number 1 Kanye trend that did not last. I'm still trying to currently come up with a set schedule for the scary stories, the future clothing reviews, and the other various kind of music and or clothing related lists like this one. And hopefully I can announce it by next week. That would be one of the main goals right now. One more thing that I almost forgot right now. I now am selling, as many of you are aware, most of my clothing that you guys have seen in various reviews and shit on Grailed. So I will put a link to my Grailed account in this description below. So thank you so much for watching, and peace out, YouTube.